tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of sentimental here, guys. Welcome to episode 3 of the official Magicians After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. We'll be talking season 1, episode 3, Consequences of Advanced Spellcasting. My name is Ty Matthews. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. And as always, my lovely talented co-hosts.
I guess we'll go
Tell
down
me who you are, y'all.
All right. Hey, my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D. Lane on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook at Kari Lane Actor.
Hi guys, I'm Samantha Benitz. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Samantha_Benitz.
Hi, my name is Adrian Snow. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow, MSADRIANSNOW.
There you go. And as always, if you like what we're doing, we want to know, let us know on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. If you're on iTunes, download, rate, subscribe. Hey, 5 stars if you're nasty. You know, it all helps. And if you're on YouTube, those neat little thumbs up, comments, all that good stuff. Basically, we just want to interact. This is interactive. That's the best part about AfterBuzz. We're all just buzzing together, y'all. It's all interactive. But episode 3, let's get into it. What'd you guys think?
I liked it.
It was fun.
I know, it was
fun.
interesting. I mean, it started off and it picked up where the last episode left off, and I feel like they answered a lot of questions that I was confused about, but I also feel like I have 50 more questions at the end of this episode, of course, so.
Right.
Yeah, more than just fun. They just explored some other elements of magic that I thought was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was okay. I liked it.
Let's get into it.
There are some characters that I'm like, develop this person more.
Yeah?
So
Sure.
Who are you
Who's that?
feeling?
Who are we thinking?
Oh gosh.
Do you think Margot? I'm kind of feeling that about Margot.
actually-
No, I like Margot.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
Margot, at least I'm curious about her. Julia, I kind of like, if you dropped her storyline for 6 episodes, I probably would be okay.
Interesting, okay.
Because I don't think I need to watch her develop in this way. It's not that interesting to watch her be like morose and sad all the time.
Right.
So if
She's
they
bummed.
drop her storyline and come back a little bit later, maybe
Right.
she's like a little bit more badass.
Sure.
I think I'll enjoy that more.
She's earned a few more of those key tattoos.
I could agree with that.
I mean, but they are flipping the script a little bit, because you can see in the other life, Quentin was kind of the outcast, and then you have this time now, Julia is feeling the burn on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
And I get that, but I only had to watch Quentin be an outcast for like all of 2 minutes.
Right.
And
True.
so
I get it.
I didn't have to like sit there and be like, and I guess the empathy I felt for Quentin in those moments, I don't feel for Julia.
Sure.
And
I feel she's being whiny. Him, you just go like, I feel bad for
He's
you.
got-
Her,
yeah.
Right.
you're just like, stop
Yeah.
whine. I agree with him of like, maybe you just suck at this and just be okay with that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
He's a
like, this is his
little-
world.
He
Yeah.
has some dickish behavior.
Tough love. It was some tough
I
love.
mean, you know.
But yeah, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
we get it. You're so sad that you can't do this thing that you've never even seen done before up
Right.
until the moment that like fire shot out of your hands. So, anyways.
And it's
talk about
it's
her
like
more
you
later.
said. No, let's get into it, because
Yeah.
we did kind of flip it, and he even tells her to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, he's dropping all these bombs on her.
Yeah,
Like,
truth
look,
bombs.
you finally lost you finally
Oh.
lost at something, and now
Yeah.
you're pissed. You know.
Yeah, we had like 4 O's in like 3 minutes, I feel.
You
Just
know?
Yeah.
Need
Keep
some
it at
ice for all
100.
those burns, Julia.
You keeping it 100. And we talked a little bit last week about if we thought there was a little bit of an unrequited romance between them, and we see that was the case.
Yeah, he did
It's
confirm that.
confirmed.
Yeah.
I just want that relationship to be more developed. I feel like if we got to see more of their interaction before they became separated, I would have more investment in Julia. But because she is kind of an outsider from the rest of the cast,
Sure.
it's just a little bit difficult to to care.
And how
Definitely.
she reacted with James, her boyfriend. You know, she pushed Quentin aside entirely until now it's convenient to have Quentin back because
Right.
he can teach her the ropes like nobody else can. And now you can see James is getting a little bit of the outside move away type of
Right.
vibe from her. So.
He's getting the cold shoulder for sure.
Yeah.
man.
I do think my favorite thing, though, in that scene, like with Elliot and Quentin and when they first meet the Hedge Witches, was when he says, we're classically trained. I was like, I have been that jerk. Like standing in a room with a bunch of actors and be like, yeah, you know, I went to conservatory. And
Oh my
such
gosh.
a dude. And you don't mean it, but it just like flies out of your mouth. And you're
Sure.
like, shit.
It comes out the wrong way.
Especially
Yeah.
the delivery. Like he stood straight
But
up.
that's
when he said
Elliot.
that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
that's
very
Elliot.
pompous.
But even straighter than usual.
Yes.
He like
He was like,
Wait, he's straight
he
now.
made exactly. He's foppish, you know. But yeah, I do love that we're getting. I mean, I 100% agree that, you know, I do feel like it's getting, I don't know, maybe a little bit stagnant. But that being said,
Yeah,
I
a
love
little bit.
the element of the Hedge Witches and the fact that they're basically these tweakers that are literally turning tricks for spells.
I
Yeah.
want to see that.
This is a good point.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a whole
They
new
probably
show.
will
I
show
want
it.
to see some tweaker Hedge Witches
That's
turning
a-
tricks for
That's
magic.
a whole new
I mean,
show.
we saw
That
book
would be
sex,
amazing.
hovering
did.
sex last episode. I wouldn't be too
That would
shocked.
be
That
like
is true.
Sure.
like
That is true.
the weird blood dens from Being Human, where like what's his face would sneak off and like there'd be sex and people feeding on each other. That was on Syfy. Like they can
Yeah.
do it. I want to see that.
Did anybody else? I liked how this episode explored how for Julia, like, there's no consequence to her of doing the magic. Like, when she took money from the ATM, I'm like, okay, that's cool, you got free money. But that's probably from someone else's account. Now you're screwing over someone else's life. And I
Sure.
bet that didn't even cross her mind. Because that's like that, you know, it's that balance of, you know, for the magic, there is a consequence. So
Yeah.
it's like, just because you got something good doesn't mean it didn't hurt someone else somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
and
like an
Exactly.
addiction.
Yeah. Oh no, they totally, like, her describing it, I'm like, it's a drug.
And it was a little bit on the nose when she went from that, because at first I thought like, oh, that's kind of really heavy symbolism, and then it turns out like, oh, she's feeding him this line about
Yeah.
Adderall.
Exactly.
Liar. Unless he sees her keys again later, and then he'll be like, where's your...
That little
Yeah.
symbol
What happened
that
to your
looked
shit?
different
Yeah.
last time.
She's like, I had withdrawals, I'm sorry. I went back.
Oh no.
That's the consequences of underground magic, I feel like.
Right?
So it's
And
kind of
lying.
scary. Yeah.
Lots of lying. I don't think she'll be
But
able
I
to
feel
keep it
like
up.
Yeah.
I feel like the consequences of even the magic they're teaching at Brakebills might be even more. Might be even
That is so true.
because it's so much more sophisticated. The consequences might be that much more severe.
I mean, we see that with Alice and Quentin. Like, every time they
Sure.
say a spell, then somebody ends up dead or...
Well, we saw that with the story that Emily told
Right.
about
Yeah.
trying to just trying to make herself prettier,
Mm-hmm.
and we saw how that
Yeah.
backfired.
That was sad. I actually really felt for Emily.
Right?
She had such a crazy story, and you could see just the way the actress portrayed those lines that it was just so affecting her still up until this point, and just getting this, you know, love triangle that ended up going wrong. To me, it's just a sad tragedy, and it kind of shows the consequences of magic already. So I feel like they wanted to show us that instantly and kind of warn us for what's ahead.
Right.
It seems like if you like magic is kind of just inherently evil. Like what it does to Charlie when he becomes consumed by it. He becomes like
Yeah.
this like
Right.
guy who flicks people off and attempts to drown children.
Okay.
It's like,
we gotta talk about that more.
Jeez, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you like completely give in to magic.
That was
So-
that was such an unexpected part of the
It
episode
was.
that
Yeah.
got such a legitimate
It's
laugh
like,
out of me.
Yes.
'Cause it's like, yeah, you think it's this really dark, ominous
Yeah.
moment. And he's like, actually,
Yeah. That was a little like emo.
They
for
kind
my-
of didn't
for my
wait
taste.
long
it
enough,
was
though.
emo.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
definitely emo.
Very emo.
I don't feel they waited long enough. They're standing there and they're like, nothing happened. All right, and we turn around
Well,
and leave.
I
I'm
guess
like,
we
whoa, we've
tried.
learned with these spells. They take some
It
time.
takes time.
Take
Like,
your
you could be there
second,
for
yeah.
hours, probably.
Right.
That is so true. Didn't they learn that the last
Last time,
time when the
nothing
beast came
happened.
out?
Yeah.
Just wait a few seconds and roll out again, and we'll just let
Yeah,
whatever
those two
happens
should
happen.
stop doing magic. That's
What we're saying is, tune in next week for more emo zombie magic shit.
Yeah.
But it was, and you mentioned the Beast, and it's almost kind of switched to a new big bad of this episode, kind of, you know. It reminded me of like maybe of like Supernatural, kind of, where there's a whole new
Yeah.
evil that
Sure,
they're sort
yeah.
of dealing with.
I
Exactly.
do feel that Charlie is still connected to the Beast in some way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think
Right.
it's just,
Sure.
you know, that whole idea of the Niffin and him being sucked into the Niffin, but then also the appearance of the glass horse at the end.
Sure.
Makes it seem like that's not the full story, that just because you see this, like, kind of demonic version of your brother, that's like all there is
And
left.
were we sure it's
Right.
100% him?
Exactly. That's a very,
Like-
very good point. I hadn't thought about that.
He looked like him and he could do things he did,
But
but
he
that
didn't.
doesn't mean it's him.
Exactly.
Right.
That maniacal laugh told me otherwise. I'm
And
like,
he had different hair. He had spiky hair.
That hair
That means
was
he's a bad
so
guy.
high.
Right?
That was such tall hair.
I'm not even gonna lie, when I saw not Margot, Penny's
Katie.
Katie. I saw her in leather pants last episode, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh, she must be evil or like bad in some way.
Leather
because
pants are never-
Leather pants are like the sign of
Right?
The bad boy or
nothing
bad
from
girl.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Straight up
There's
foreshadowing.
Angel in jeans. There's Angelus in leather.
Interesting.
So true.
Pretty sure Faith wears leather a lot too.
Faith wore leather. Yeah. When she turned.
Well, she generally was bad,
Yeah.
so she wore them
bad.
often.
Uh-oh,
Spike.
Katie.
Yeah.
Spikes.
We're on to you, leather
Right?
pants.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Do we think that maybe the Beast is on the other side, kind of turning people as they cross over, using them against their
Like
loved ones?
Voldemort?
Could be, yes.
Maybe not
be.
quite
Wow.
that like large of a reach, but maybe here and there. And Charlie just happened to be the one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. I feel like he's like the ultimate force for some reason, the Beast. And then everybody else is just kind of in this sea of evil after
Right.
they cross over, just becoming this pure form of magic. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't really know if they are connected either. I'm kind of feeling like they're a little separate, and we're going to find out soon. Maybe episode 4.
Just different
Yeah.
malevolent entities.
Well, they're playing with that whole idea of different worlds too, so I think they're going to kind of incorporate that, and then having Penny. We'll touch on Penny, but
And
Yeah, that's a good
exactly,
point.
and that's a great segue, because we see Penny and we find out that he's not just psychic, as you know, as we kind of saw the hinting at in the first couple episodes. He's actually this rarest form of magician called a traveler that can
Teleport.
I was like, that's a total steal from Vampire Diaries.
I was gonna say he's
Traveler
another
witches.
character though that I'm tired of him being a whiner too.
I like Penny though because
I like him
surly.
more,
Yeah.
but
He's
his
a big
whining
ol'-
needs to stop.
His whining
but
is annoying.
this
Big ol'
episode
sass ball.
wasn't stopping. It was
Yeah.
him going, "Okay, I'll try to learn this stuff."
I appreciate the Dean just being a jerk to everyone. Like he doesn't care. He gives no
Equal
I'm not-
opportunity
You know?
to everybody.
He just when he kind of snapped at Quentin first episode, and then this episode he's basically telling him like you need to get your ish together and,
Exactly.
and face this, and so I appreciate him there and traveling to some unnamed Asian country. to
right,
say this.
right. Yeah, now that he's fresh out of working eyeballs, he's fresh out of F's to give.
Yes.
Yeah, he's there. And I feel like he needs each and every one of them. That's why he's kind of like monitoring their progress and
Right.
making sure that they're turning out in the way that is beneficial to him actually getting rid of this beast. Not only for his students, but clearly for himself, who lost his hands and eyeballs in the process. So it's not like he hasn't, dealt with his own issues on it as well. But back to what you were saying about Penny, I find it so interesting that in this episode we see this other level of him. I mean, starting with the whole Taylor Swift joke, which I really liked.
That was awesome.
I know that was a good
I
way to
love,
modernize the series.
The one thing that I didn't notice the first time around when I watched the episode is like after he yells at Quentin to shut his mind up, Quentin like hides behind the tree and then kind of sneaks out from
Yeah.
the other side just to make
Yes.
sure he's leaving.
Yeah, he's a scary force, I feel like. Even when he goes into that little like meditation studio, you can see that
Yeah,
he didn't
no
really
touch.
don't touch me, don't talk to me,
touching.
nothing, So he's very standoffish besides for Penny, or I'm sorry, Katie. And so you can see that he's willing to still learn more, though, because he's willing to take it up to notch 11 after taking this meditation.
And the
really,
amplifier, yeah.
Exactly, taking it to the next level. So I feel like that happened for a reason, and they're all going to be able to hone into their powers with some type of practice as well.
Right. I feel like with every scene, I'm seeing new kind of parallels to draw to other like supernatural shows, and with that, with his teleporting to might have been China, maybe it was China.
Yeah, I shamefully did not understand their characters. So I
Right.
was like, Asian country, I don't want to be a jerk.
It reminded me of when Hero develops his or discovers his
yeah.
teleportation powers
Yeah.
on Heroes.
Yeah.
Another kind of world where powers are thrust upon these youngins that are not ready.
Yeah.
I want more variety though, because so far everyone's been more physical magic. Then we have the one psychic teleporter. It's like nobody is the healer, nobody's the herbalist, nobody's the like. There's a few others.
Oh, that's right. We only kind of see those during that
and
tour.
not that we need the perfect one of every group kind of scenario, but it's like they need to maybe have some connection to those people, because I do feel later, it's like every faction is going to be needed. So it's like they'll randomly like, surprise, it's our buddy over here that we've never talked to. So it's like, okay, we need a couple other people in your group.
I so agree.
I think Quentin's
there you go. He'll be the one that's different.
It's like if it's spoiler alert if you watch Misfits, or if you want to watch Misfits and you're not there yet. It's over. It's been over for like 3 years.
Skip forward. If you want to watch Misfits.
But it's kind of like they all have superpowers except for one guy, and nobody can figure out what his power is, and he's really pissed until the end of season 1, when you discover that he's immortal. And so, like, he has the best
The ultimate power, sure.
He has the ultimate power because he can never die. So I feel like that's what they're kind of doing with Quentin. They're kind of building it up.
Or he can be like the opposite force field. Like, if everybody has powers, he can, like, stop everybody's powers. Basically, like,
he's like the Haitian.
He's
like the Haitian guy.
I
feel like he's going to be a multi-user.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, have more than one?
He'll have more than one discipline that he can
have, like,
master.
The God mode.
So what did you guys think
not
about...
all of them, but, like, a couple.
So what did you guys think about the whole scene at the little pool then at the end, where Quentin actually does that spell to get Charlie? Do you think that had anything to do with his abilities?
No.
Or no, you just think it was a simple spell?
Well, he remembered that spell from when he was talking to Alice.
But he researched it because he did not know how to say it in Turkish.
Exactly.
Right.
He learned it.
But he knew.
Yeah, I think... It was funny seeing him get thrown in the air again.
Yes.
Again.
I was like, oh.
Is this the second episode in a row
Once
that he just went flying?
Always a nerd.
I mean.
And then also that I did find it interesting that his spell overpowered Alice's spell. So that when he started to do it, it kind of voided out everything she was doing, and that he was able to, like, pull away from her spell and pull him into the box.
There's
also she's a newbie.
And I feel there's this thing called communication. She should have told him, like, hey, I need to finish this because this is what I'm trying to do. Because then she's all mad at him of, like, him doing it. It's like, well, maybe you should have said, by the way, I'm going to be doing this spell, which does this. So please don't interrupt.
It might look suspiciously like he's about to murder me.
Yes.
Right.
I feel that's all of their interactions so far. It's like, sweetheart, if you laid it all out for him.
Yeah, a little disclaimer.
I think things would go better. Not perfect, but better.
To be fair, that looked like she was 100% about to die.
She's about to turn into an FN.
You know?
It looks pretty clear.
Do we think that
she was... But you can't get mad at him for, like, doing something. Yeah. And it's like, by the way, I should have told you.
Alice is a bit one-dimensional at this time.
Sure.
Yes.
And they're still developing her, but at least it's, like, not as annoying as Julia. But it will be nice to see, like, Bizarro Alice when she stops walking like like a Peanuts character.
I was thinking, like, as we were watching the episode and we saw just how kind of, like, uptight she is.
Very
like,
stilted.
If there's, like, a dark, like the way that there was, like, a dark Willow in Buffy,
that'd be
you know?
great. That'd be great to see that kind of. So once they give her more
the glasses are going to come off, the braid's going to come out, and she's got to change her clothes.
They're
leather pants.
Yes.
Leather pants. Sign of evil.
Time's a flat circle, guys. It all comes around town.
Yeah.
Now, do we think that she was maybe holding back a little because she was worried about what it might do to Charlie?
No, I think she was way too desperate.
She was just
holding back.
She's too close, man.
Yeah.
Getting too close.
Mm-hmm. They're just making her a little bit too much like what's her face from Harry Potter, whose name I'm completely... Hermione. Yeah. and it's kind of like, we don't need her to be Hermione. Like,
that
she's
is
an
true.
older
I hadn't thought of it that way, but she's exactly the same kind of vibe.
I even saw a review that said this series reminds them of the adult version of Harry Potter.
That's kind of like what a lot of people have kind of touched on, that they made this like adult. But I mean,
it's young people. They're at a magic school.
Yeah.
Already there's similarities that it's going to be hard to separate from.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a little bit more realistic of what would happen, though, with, like, our society today thrown into a magic school. There'd be all sorts of dark magic and who knows what going on behind those doors.
Have you guys seen the movie Chronicle?
Yeah.
I have not seen
It
Chronicle.
reminds
me either. Yes.
Chronicle is amazing, and it's this found footage film about these. It's set
that movie.
in this real universe where it's these real kids that develop these powers, and it seems so true to form. And I think we're kind of seeing elements of that where it's like this is what people that are just going to graduate school would do with magical powers.
They're like,
You know, they would have sex in the air,
levitate in the
hovering.
air and have sex.
You know?
That would be the first thing on my list.
make
100%.
magical
And
drinks
number one,
too.
Yeah.
up top.
Sex in the air.
Now we
Magical
see
drinks.
obviously Quentin comes to the rescue, much to Alice's chagrin. It seems like there's this, from the flashbacks that we see with Charlie and from what we know about Charlie, it seems like there's this this kind of theme of if you use magic to help people, you're eventually going to get screwed by it.
Oh.
Potentially.
Like the use of, as you know, the best laid plans, you know, like they're using these spells for benevolent purposes, but it ends up biting them in the ass in the long run.
I think with Charlie, it's more of a like, don't tap into stuff you don't know anything about.
I was gonna just
And that was
say, bit off
completely
more than you can
untested.
chew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't bite off more than you can chew, because the professor, who is unnamed, I was like, could it be the Beast? But probably not, because he was married. But
Which professor?
the professor,
The girl fell in
was
love.
having an affair.
Alice.
Oh, yes,
or
yes.
Emily Greenstreet.
Emily, yeah.
So don't touch upon things that you're not ready for, and I think that's kind of been like a recurring theme in the show already.
Yes.
Like, don't touch on things you're not ready for.
Right.
That will mess you up.
And at this
That's how
point,
magic gets you.
that's like everything.
Yeah,
right?
like
and everybody's
been
doing
saying
it too.
And everyone's
Right.
doing it, so it's kind of reinforcing that as well. And then, you know, I would like to see some of the professors actually show off their magic. That was one cool thing
Sure.
about
That's a good point. Yeah, that
We
would be
only
cool.
saw
that.
Homeboy with the German.
Yep.
Yeah. What did he do? Die.
Right.
That's all he did. Come on now. But like, I
totally
I
agree.
want to see
It'd be
the
fun.
Dean kind of do a little bit more than what he did, and
Do some goddamn
Yeah.
magic,
Do some
as he says in the
magic.
first
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, that would be cool to see the Dean do a little something, especially now that he's blinded. I kind of want to see where his character is going to go. I'm
And
curious.
we know if samurai films have taught us anything, now that he's blind, he's so much more powerful.
Yeah, he's so in tune with his
Has
other
so much
senses.
You
Yep.
know?
of a sage. Now that
just-
American Horror Story as well.
Yep.
Season 3 with the witches. When she went blind, she did better.
That's right.
yeah.
So it's going to come into use, I'm sure, for something. It's going to be like a black room and like nothing but sound, and I swear the Dean is going to know exactly what's going on.
Right?
Oh man.
Just needs that long goatee that he can thing. Mixing my...
Oh, the glasses though. When he put on
franchise.
glasses, he could see. He just said there's a hue.
Oh,
Because when he put on the glasses, he said there's a green hue. So,
I
I
was
mean, at least he
wondering
was
about
seeing
that.
a
Interesting.
color.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know how well he could see, like how blurry or how detailed, but he saw something.
Yeah.
It wasn't vacant.
Well, he said that he took off his glasses and he asked Penny to say yes because he cannot see.
No,
his
the
him
part
not.
in his office.
When he's in his office.
When he had
yeah.
the different,
here.
And he
when
says,
the different,
he says
he had the samples in
the
front of
glasses,
him.
and he
okay.
says he's seeing blue and pink hues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice, because I was thinking like, well, I hope those just aren't glass eyes or failing.
Right.
I would hope they would use magic.
When
Right.
I'm not
bring
gonna
his
lie.
vision back.
I'm not gonna lie. The first moment when he takes his glasses off and you see his eyes, I'm like, oh, he can see again. It's fine.
Just kidding.
That's what I thought too.
Right? I was like, do they not have a spell that can make him see again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could probably
Or
just
it
take
takes time. Like the
Yeah.
hands, it takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah.
Right.
But they are giving him very much like a Professor Xavier type.
100%.
Yeah.
He has a
Right.
handicap, but
If you're
doesn't stop him.
handicapped, Then
Yep.
you must be
Exactly.
a sage.
Guys, Henry's handy-capable. That's what we're saying.
Yes, there we go.
Now, one thing that I was surprised that they kind of... I don't think I was expecting Quentin and Julia to cross paths again already so quickly.
I was so surprised by that encounter
when
as well.
he and when they're trying to find they find volume 2 of a book that's looking for, or they is it volume 1 that they find?
No, 2, they're looking for 1.
They're looking for one, so that's looking for its mate. Very just straight up literal flying books.
That was awesome.
I loved that. It was such the kind of lighthearted compared to
Yes.
all the stuff with Alice and Charlie and everything like that. It was just kind of silly. But I was really surprised when they came across the Hedge witches all of a sudden.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think that they would let Quentin know like what she was doing quite as her Lacey did.
Right.
So,
Well, that was a cool surprise then, because then you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it serves as a warning, I kind of feel like, too, for Julia. Maybe these guys are dangerous and not to be trusted. I mean, you have
she's
that
not
one.
going to listen, though.
Yeah,
No.
clearly she's obsessed with the idea of becoming a magician, so nothing's going to stop her in
And
this
I
pursuit.
think it's more of Quentin just kind of being obviously very jealous, but also kind of overprotective. Like, he doesn't necessarily have a reason not to trust them yet.
He doesn't
Right.
know them.
He just knows that they're offering BJs for spells. That's all.
Yeah.
Which, hey, that's not the best look when you have classically trained Brakebills over here. So.
I just like Elliot having a smoke break while they had their argument. He's like, I'll just wait.
And then he does
And
a
then
little
his
clap.
golf clap.
Quentin's like, no.
I feel Elliot's my favorite character.
He's
love
funny.
Elliot.
I like
He's
him.
chewing the hell out of
His
that scenery.
clothes, his attitude, how he talks. You're just like, you're so cool.
Sure, and you 100%.
And funny.
He was meant to be that way.
Yes.
He's the cool guy. He's gonna be on all the shirts at Hot Topic.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's gonna love Elliot. You know-
There we go. That should go in prediction. Who's going to be on what merchandise?
What's the first piece of merch that we're gonna see?
I forget that Hot Topic exists because when I was in high school, it was pure goth, and all my
Sure.
friends
And punk.
were-
It had punk
and
stuff,
punk.
though. Plaid
Sure.
stuff.
That was like the Avril Lavigne time.
Yes.
I felt like
all my
The
friends were
neckties.
punks, and so
Yeah.
I'd go into Hot Topic with them, and there's no way I could ever be a punk because my mother would be like, "What are you wearing?"
Right?
And I'd be like, "This is so weird. They just play like goth music and punk, and you buy like dark stuff." And they're like, "Yeah."
they had some SpongeBob merch back
Lots
in
of
the day
vinyl.
too.
Now it's all
Now it's kind of now it's just
alternative-ish pop culture.
yeah. Mhm.
quote
It's
unquote
like
alternative.
Spencer's now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
exactly
like
right.
Spencer's.
Hot
Nobody knows
Topic
about Spencer's
was my
rule.
very first seasonal job right out of high school. And I remember all my friends saying, like, you can't work there. You don't wear enough black.
Or you don't have enough piercings. Now it's you don't have enough piercings or colored hair.
Yeah, dyed hair, yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Hot Topic though, I really do appreciate that they have like shirts that like you couldn't get as a kid. Like I got into Buffy later, so I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get the merchandise now. They don't have it. But oh wait, Hot Topic will.
Hot Topic will have it.
Yeah.
Shout out Hot Topic if you got the magician stuff. We will like showcase it on
if
our
you
show.
want to
I
give
feel
us
like
stuff.
Yeah.
it's heading that direction, especially with Elliot.
Sure, yeah.
The stuff that he says, like
Yes.
his one-liners.
He's like
Yes.
the Stewie of the magicians.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
He
his face
is.
and a cigarette.
And the book sex. Love conquer. Love wins.
Yes.
Oh,
I was like,
that's
a
gonna be
good
on a
one.
shirt.
That was
right
cute.
there.
Just
There
have
it
two
is.
books like humping each
That's
other. Love
100%
wins.
right.
Yes.
Perfect.
That'd be a great reference thing because then it's like you would only know if you watched the show. Because if you saw two books like on top of each other, you'd be like, I don't get it. And then
Right.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'd
that
be
was-
your
yeah.
nerd sonar. Like anybody get it? It's like beep beep going out there.
You just gotta throw it out there and see what pings back.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that was obviously the last thing we were expecting when the book flies out of the box
Yes.
and goes
Yeah.
and tracks
I
down his
wasn't
mate.
expecting book sex.
Just
I was like,
straight
what are these
up.
books? Are they bat books? Are they
Well,
just
flying
sex
books has
books?
happened
Are they
before.
good?
I know I've seen it in other
It's
magic
just because
things,
it's the
but
conversation.
Yeah, I know. All you could hear is the flapping books, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, they went all out with the sound effects in this show. I give
Oh,
them
you mean,
credit.
like during when they're drinking wine, and you
Yes.
hear the books like doing it in the back.
Yes, they're like waiting it out. Just give them a few minutes.
That Foley artist.
Yeah.
Props to them.
so we need you to make book sex sound. Okay, ready? Okay, go.
They're like,
I guess just flapping.
pretty sure it probably sounds like regular sex,
Oh,
but
boy.
without vocalization. I mean, if you're doing it right.
Lots of paper fluttering.
What?
Now, speaking
Yes.
of Elliot, there is a moment where he and Margot are kind of watching Quentin from afar.
Yes.
And she's sort of teasing him like, oh, this is the kind of boy you always go after. It seemed like that was a little bit ominous, kind of. Mm-hmm. Do we think?
A little bit. I do kind of take back my statement before that people don't see them because now I'm like, okay, I feel a little more people have interacted with them. It's not
Right.
impossible, but I feel more people interacted
Oh,
with
I
them at the
remember.
party.
I just
Where I'm like, are they
remember.
really there or something?
They could be ghosts.
But
Well, maybe
again,
not Margot. I haven't really seen Margot interact with anyone.
yeah, no,
Just
Margot
pretty
hasn't,
much
and
just
Elliot
Alice.
really.
Yeah.
Well, Elliot interacted with people outside of Breakbridge, so
Yeah.
He
Margot's
was-
definitely there. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that was very interesting.
It was a little bit dark the way that like Elliot's just kind of lounging like friggin' like Caligula style on a couch, just like yes, Bring me the boy.
I mean, Caligula got what he wanted.
He certainly did.
And you judge? Well, no, Caligula was actually a bad person. But whatever. I mean, never mind. I'm gonna stop talking. But
let's get into some classic erotica, guys.
Yes.
I like Margot's character, actually. I feel like she's going to come back and serve like a really pivotal role because she's this like gossip connoisseur. So she's going to know little things about Brakebills and everybody's personal lives.
Right.
That's going to definitely come into play later. But clearly she's not liked by everyone because she's probably like a drama queen.
Oh, sure. And Quentin,
gossip. She gossips. So you're like, don't
Can't trust her with secrets.
Oh, and Margot did talk to Emily. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Good point.
And so, and Quentin says, and it might have been just like a joke or a throwaway line, but he does say like, "Oh, Margot's discipline is gossip." Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering like, how much truth is there to that? Maybe
there's a knowledge discipline.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Where she
like
just kind
gossip is a more colloquial way
she
to
can
say it.
She can intuit these things from just like talking to people or just like
she's extremely empathetic. Maybe she
Sure,
knows like
sure.
what people are feeling and thinking.
kind
of.
She's got
different form of
magical
psychic.
Master manipulator.
Yes.
Sounds
Could
like
be.
my type of person. Come to this party with
There
me.
is a
and
lot of
tell me-
manipulation happening.
Yes. No, her line when she's like when gets the apology from Alice and she's like, was it that hard?
I love the looks that she just
she's
keeps
like
giving her, flipping the pages of that book, just mindlessly, like
She's
not
like,
even
I'll
reading
wait.
at that point.
I'll wait.
Yeah,
Right?
she knows that Alice needs something. Yeah,
That's great.
But yeah, like I said, a lot of manipulation.
Yeah.
We see that Marina is like, if Julia's drug of choice is magic, then Marina is her pusher at this point. Like, she gets that 3 a.m. text while James is asleep next to her.
Yeah,
saying,
she's
like,
a bad
"Oh,
influence.
Come to the bodega for a new spell."
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I want to see these spells. I don't want to see
Right?
Julia just kind of like not succeed. I'm like, let me
And
see
move
what
coins.
she knows and
Yeah.
change.
And we saw
change key
that. We saw
tags.
that with her trying to unlock that padlock.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so mesmerizing. All of the.
I mean, if I were Julia and I were learning magic, I'd be like, what can I take home to my boyfriend?
Right.
Ah.
And interesting.
Clean the house.
Yeah.
Cook dinner.
Exactly.
I don't trust Marina. Do you guys?
Oh, for sure. No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Especially
No.
when she mentioned the whole, I used to have a life before this, a boyfriend who made me
Right.
feel centered, this and that. She clearly wants to separate Julia from Quentin and the rest of the crowd to learn her way.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't really know if her
Major
tricks...
grudge against Brakebill.
Exactly.
Mm.
And what is her motive for using
Yeah.
Julia? You know what I mean? Because there's got to be a reason why she's texting her in the middle of the night, why she's having her lie to everybody in her personal circle. It's
Right.
like...
Sure.
So I don't know. She's going to come back and do something shady.
Oh,
or she's
yeah.
going to learn a bad trick, I'm feeling like, from
Marina.
her. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, it definitely seems like she's the Sith Lord or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
The manipulator in the background. In
Just
a way.
like the Darth Vader.
Pulling the strings.
Julia's. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna say, I wanted to-
Now, but yeah.
We were talking about the hands. I wanted to say a shout out. Someone on YouTube commented this kind of like Naruto, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't really gotten into Naruto yet, but they also do hand gestures to accomplish something. So
Ooh, I did read a little interview with the executive producer, Sera Gamble, and she mentioned that they are actually using finger tutting as their hand motions, and they said in the interview, we were searching for a way to kind of codify the language of magic, which is very specific and arduous and difficult and intensive, and it's done with fingers primarily in Lev's books, she said, and as soon as we saw finger tutting, it felt really fresh and good to us when we hired a choreographer to work with the actors. So
Interesting.
we mentioned
go.
that a little last
Yeah.
week, why it looks so orchestrated and beautiful and
Sure.
intriguing. So
there we go. That was the dancing. I'm like, it's a dance thing. I know. I've
Right?
seen it.
And like I said, see, once again, time's a flat circle. It all comes around. I mentioned that I knew that from Taylor Swift, Shake It Off. And this week, we get a T-Swift reference. It all comes full circle, guys.
It
so
is.
true.
There
T-Swift
it
is the link that connects everything.
Yes.
The 1 degree of separation.
I like how they threw in modern songs too, like The Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
Don't Forget About Me, and Taylor Swift. So I feel like they're really trying to, connect the audience with this series as
Right.
well.
I was a bit surprised to see the Breakfast Club song because I was like, are they old enough?
I was wondering that too, but I guess they're
guess so.
they're going to grad school,
They're
so
going to grad school,
Yeah.
so they would be like
It's on TV all the
25,
time.
26.
So
That's
I
also
feel,
true.
That's true
regardless
as
of how
well.
old they are.
Right.
But sometimes you run into people and they don't know what Friends is, and you're like, oh,
Wow.
Where were you?
Wow.
Maybe Alice knows it from Pitch
how old
Perfect.
am I? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe
And then
that's what it
They
is.
also made
No,
a
there's certain
reference-
things that even if you've never watched it, it's in enough
Yeah.
pop culture that's like,
Yeah.
how
Right.
are you that unaware?
Right.
Whatever.
But
Right.
I also
Sorry,
really,
well, yeah.
I liked the Seven reference as well. When he's
Yes,
What's
what's
in
in
the
the box?
box?
What's in the box?
So
I was
good.
like, you're playing this for people my age.
I totally thought the
Yeah.
same thing. I'm like, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
But that would be my
pretty
question too. It's like something's moving in there. Can you
Yeah.
please just tell me
Yes.
what's in the box?
I legitimately
I don't care
did.
what's going on. I want to know what the thing is in front of me.
I legitimately did think it was gonna be a head that like is alive.
Yeah. That
Like
was
Idle
awesome.
Hands. You remember Idle
Yes.
Hands?
Yes.
Oh boy,
Yes.
bringing it back with that one.
Oh, so good. Guys, it's just reference hour here.
I mean,
gonna-
Now you know how old some of us are.
yeah, right? You definitely have
Unless
an idea.
we did our research.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We compiled a list, an
Yes.
exhaustive list of references.
My
Yes.
20 plus years of pop reference research.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Right.
Life experiences. Yes.
And so kind of the main fallout that we're dealing with episode 3 is Alice kind of getting fed up with Quentin and his white knighthood and storming out of the cottage.
Yeah.
I
That
think she
was
gave
silly.
up too soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like, are you sure? Like, I didn't feel that box meant it was over if Charlie was in the box. Like,
Right.
Well, she
charm.
referenced it.
And she does say,
Oh,
she
did she
says
say,
it's,
like,
it's
that's
not
permanent?
proven.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
she
yeah.
said there was no door to it, but that wasn't Charlie to begin with, and I think that was like the
Yes.
hardest thing for her to understand and accept is that
Right.
that
Sure.
wasn't her brother.
I think she's not gonna get very far, and she'll turn around and come right back.
Yeah. Quentin was willing to help her. I mean, he was the one who offered her any input in the first place and
Sure.
kind of led her to somebody who could help. So to me, she should be grateful because he was there for
Yeah.
pretty much every spell and when things were going bad. And it clearly looked
And he
like
still
he was
came back.
burning her, doing an evil laugh. He was doing the whole 9 yards, launching
Right.
Quentin 50 feet in the air. You can understand why he wanted to.
I love that, like, launching Quentin just like so far is like the Brakebills version of like kicking sand in his face.
Right. I love how he got up a lot more easily from this one, from like some crazy possessed man. He like just got up and walked over and did a spell.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas when Penny
He's
did,
had more
Penny.
practice.
Right.
Well, that was a bigger thing, though.
Oh, that was
and
the
it was
amulet?
a
Bouncing
force
off,
field
yeah.
kind of bounce.
it wasn't being
Reflections.
thrown. It was
Right.
yeah, that's true.
We
that's
gotta
true.
have like a whole spectrum of how Quentin can react to different kind of force pushes.
I just
Maybe
hope-
he's had training, you know?
Maybe. I hope every episode they do something physically bad to Quentin.
I know. How many times do we think he's going to fly this
This
season?
poor
Let's make
guy.
a little wager.
Right.
Yes, let us know.
What's the over under?
How often you think it's
And how many times he's gonna get basically stuffed into a
Yeah.
locker.
because he's kind of a jerk, so it's not
Right.
like. I mean, that time wasn't deserved.
But
when-
he's
when
got the
yeah.
best intentions, but he does come off a little bit smug
Yeah.
when he expresses
Especially
them.
for somebody who's undetermined.
He's
with
just
his magic.
blunt and
Right.
honest.
He does, yeah, he says he's a
Yeah.
what's he call himself? A squat mancer. He's a
Yeah.
master of nothing, basically.
Yeah. he's not just blunt and honest. I'm blunt and honest. But even I can kind of go, oops.
Sure.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Right.
But he doesn't have that.
That's
that
true. He
little
doesn't
person
have a
that goes,
filter.
Yeah, no
don't say that,
filter.
don't say that. Or,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe I shouldn't say, can you blame me for punishing you?
Oh man.
Why would you say that to somebody who's supposed to be your friend? Okay.
Right.
Well,
He-
you know what? I called
Well, I
somebody.
feel with her, he had a lot of built up,
Yeah.
like, things that he had never told her.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's true. And I did call a man a pussy ass bitch over the weekend.
Oh
So, you know,
my.
I can't
How you really feel.
I'm a jerk.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Sorry about that, younger viewers.
What?
That was
Which
phenomenal.
one was the bad one? The P one?
I'd say both of those are on TV, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like the AfterBuzz?
Actually, you know what? There's one of the songs, and they say all those lyrics. I don't
Let's
know what it is.
keep
I'm
telling
the,
Do, 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 do.
yeah. They say, I was was like, whoa, is this on the radio? And they say the B word over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Sorry,
I think
y'all.
you're fine. Whatever. If you're watching
that's
this
a
late
first
at
to
night,
me.
you can hear that word.
They do drop, censored as they may be, they do drop some F-bombs in
A
this
and
show.
B are on ABC.
Yeah.
S is on FX and
Sure.
all cable, and then
Right.
everything's on HBO. So
And then
feel like
Comedy
S-
Central has like the Adult Swim. So
Right.
Yeah.
S
And this is a 10 o'clock after show.
Sure. S is
That
kind of...
wasn't a censor soundbite. That was an exclusive soundbite.
There you go. See, that's, that wasn't a censor.
Thank you.
That was
I know,
just,
we were like, wait a
Say it
minute.
again. Let's just say it again. Was it S?
Say it again.
That's the ass bitch.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
Jimbo, you're
Yeah.
incredible.
God, I hope
Jimbo's
that
a
guy
magician.
never watches this.
You're going to have to tell us more about that off mic.
I
Yeah,
know. Now we're all curious. We're like,
Bad
oh, do
behavior.
tell.
It's just me being full id and bad.
Do we think now that Alice
Yes.
has stormed out of the cottage, getting back on track,
Yes.
do we think that she's going to fall in with the Hedge witches?
No.
No? Just
She's
a
too
straight up
goody
no.
two shoes.
Yeah.
No
Really?
way.
she's got her guard up, and she's
Yeah.
worried still about Charlie. I feel like she knows that if she gets involved with them, it's even more dangerous. She needs somebody
Maybe
who
they'll
can.
have the key.
No, but if she's
said
so
good time,
bothered
maybe.
by what happens at Brakebills, there's no way she'll be able to tolerate what they do
Mm.
on the outside.
And she doesn't
No way.
trust anybody. She barely trusts Quentin. The only reason she
They're
talks to him
master
is a symbol.
manipulators. We saw
Nah.
Pete straight up assaulted Julia in a bathroom, and then she was like, "Yeah, I guess you're all right."
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, I don't. She's really desperate because I would have been like, I'm gonna use this and like shoot your face off with this flame coming. Like, that was just. Ugh. But
I didn't get a chance to read the article, but the Mary Sue online did an article of how like assault is not often covered correctly in film and TV,
Yeah.
and they felt that scene did a better job of like of showing how that it
Interesting.
goes down.
Oh.
yeah, it's often
Mary
not.
Sue on Twitter.
Yeah, Scandal does a really good job
Yeah.
of covering
Do they?
assault. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another one.
Getting dark.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I'm sorry, I didn't know. What were you
that
going to say, though,
face.
Adrian, if you think Alice is going to leave and go to the
Oh,
Hedge
sorry,
witch?
no.
This was
That is
okay.
It's true. Scandal does a really good job. But it's just really rough to watch. But
Sure.
But it's honest. Alice, I think she's having a temper tantrum, so she'll be back. And I think she's someone who enjoys structure so much that being a hedge witch, she's so much more powerful than that. That she
Right.
wouldn't be down for it.
Oh, she'll definitely. I do feel even no matter what happens, she'll definitely be back.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if she may dip her toe in, give it a taste.
No.
No, because they're not classically trained.
Sure.
She would have
But she's
even more
desperate.
snotty than
Yeah.
Elliot, though. She's
Yeah.
like, no.
Maybe she'll
Oh,
jump
guys.
into what's the why am I blanking on the world, the alternate world that they the Chatwins.
Hillary?
Fillory.
Oh,
yeah.
We
Like
didn't
bounce
hear
into
a
Fillory.
thing about Fillory this
Yeah,
episode.
Hillary wasn't mentioned.
Put that on the back burner.
It's coming back. I feel like
Oh, sure.
book 6
Oh, yeah.
is still going to have
Jane.
something to do
Yeah.
with everything, and you can see how the books connect if they're separated. So I feel like it's only a matter of time until the 6th book reveals some secrets that are definitely pertinent and relevant to the situation they're in, especially with the Beast. He's coming back.
Oh,
I'm just
sure.
not sure what's going on right now. We're going to deal with Charlie first, likely.
Well, while we're speculating, Jimbo, let's get some predictions.
Cue it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You were so excited for it.
And every single time, without fail, it feels like we're about to lift off and go to space. It's my favorite thing, guys. Give me a theremin and I'm happy. If Ed Wood taught me anything, good theremin.
Yes.
Solves everything. So yeah, where do we go from here? Where do we... I don't want to start.
I was going to say, you were so excited. Why aren't you starting?
No, I'm just excited about all the bells and
Oh,
whistles that come with the
okay.
predictions. But I'll say that. I'll say my one prediction. I definitely think Alice is gonna fall into the Hedge witches, even if it's just for a little bit. She might give it a little chance, like, because she's desperate. I think she really thinks that there's more of a chance to connect with the other side and connect with Charlie. And so I think she might fall in with the cool kids that are smoking in the bathroom.
They're not that cool.
Not that cool.
They're
They're not
cool.
classically
They're not
trained. Exactly. They're just turning tricks in bodegas, guys.
Those aren't the cool kids, okay?
Yeah.
The cool kids don't let their ish out on the street.
You know?
True.
You know?
There you
That's what
go.
they do.
Kara, what do you think? Predictions?
Way kind of down the line, I do think that Quentin's going to have more than one power specialty. What those are, I don't know, but he'll have at least more than one. I hope that Elliot shows some... He's already cool, but a little more magic badassness, because he's done a little bit, but not, like, bigger schemes, so hopefully he'll be brought into the fold to do something. Yeah, I don't think we're done with the Beast. And then I don't think we're done with Charlie at all. And I don't think it was Charlie who he really is.
Right.
So hopefully we will find him soon.
Do we think that that was just an evil version of Charlie, or do we think that that was the Beast just kind of masquerading as Charlie?
I think it was just pure magic.
I think it was just magic, like, because
see.
they said it's not really them, so I think it was just a shell.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So-
yeah, I think Alice is just having a temper tantrum. I totally agree.
Sure.
And she'll turn around and come right back.
Sure.
Yeah.
She's fussy. Samantha, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like Penny's gonna have a bigger influence in the next episode now that he's a teleporter or a traveler.
Yeah.
That's some
He
serious... They
is
do,
totally gonna utilize that.
they
and
do
then,
say it's the rarest power, don't they?
yeah, so I feel like maybe he can go actually help with the whole Charlie situation since they
Ooh,
need
he'll
to
go
cross
to,
over
Fillory.
worlds. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Travel to Fillory.
There we
Fillory,
go.
thank you.
Yeah.
Get it!
Muffin.
Yeah.
Hillary. Yes.
So yeah, I'm feeling like that's going to go down next episode, and I agree with you. We're going to see a lot more out of Quentin, and I'm also curious what exactly Julia's powers are and how those two are going to intermingle in the next few
Yeah.
episodes. But I
It's
know
gonna be
they will,
dark.
and it's going to be dark between those two.
Sure.
Is Adrian?
And, like, essentially the same prediction where I was like, well, Alice will probably come back once she finds out that Penny's a traveler. She'll probably come back and, like, try to utilize him to take her to a different world and find Charlie that way.
Yes.
So I think that they're going to use him in that way. And then I think it's also just going to kind of be like an unfolding of how all their powers connect with each other and why they are kind of linked in that way. So because they all add something. It's like the craft, like or you need the person who represents the fire
Another
and the
reference.
wind,
Love
air,
it.
All the
a
elements
lot
up
of
in
Favorite
there.
moment.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think they're going to go in that direction.
Right?
I agree.
I hope we see more with Margot's powers and not just power of
Sure,
gossip.
sure.
What it really is.
Right, real life. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly what that might mean.
And if it is a power of knowledge, because that could be a power.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just intuiting. from-
Manipulating and knowing information.
Exactly.
Right.
It's-
That's how
it's the
gossip works
best
at Brakebills.
This is true.
It's not just stirring shit up and breaking up relationships.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
real stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, a lot to unpack. Love how much this show gives us to talk about.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, man. But we'll be right back. Same bad time, same bad channel next week talking about episode 4. But for now, guys, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Samantha_Benitz.
Yes, and you can find me online at Kari D. Lane on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, Kari Lane Actor.
And as always, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA, along with various other after shows, Monday Night Raw, Pitch Slap, Second Chance, and the brand new Lucha Underground after show. That's right. Get some Lucha Libre in your life. But for now, I'm loving it, guys. Can't wait for next week. But until then, peace!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.